Bitcoin's a solution for everybody. It's a solution for every company. It's a solution for every investor. It's a solution for every government. It's a solution for every individual, every family. So the institutions have a lot of the money and a lot of the responsibility in the world, pension funds, banks, etc. So we've been pursuing support for institutions because we want everyone to embrace this network, not just individuals like the Fidelities, the Vanguards of the world.
Bitcoin headed toward a crucial area after the June 16 Wall Street Open as a recovery from three-month lows continued. The Bitcoin price built on an overnight rebound from its lowest levels since early March amid ongoing regulatory and macroeconomic pressures. For Michael van de Poppe, founder and CEO of trading firm 8, $26,000 represented a key level for bulls to flip next. Long weekend is coming up with the bank holiday on Monday, he told Twitter followers, referencing the Juneteenth holiday in the United States. For Bitcoin, a crucial area to break is $26K. If that breaks, we'll have some acceleration. I'm still long, would still long if we reach $24.4 thousand too. That $24,400 downside area of interest was already in focus for various popular traders. Hello and welcome to Money Talks. In today's video, we have Michael Saylor talking about the benefits of Bitcoin to our financial system and how to invest in it. Also shares his outlook and prediction for Bitcoin while the ongoing SEC actions against the entire crypto market. So without wasting any time, let's get into the video.
I don't think there's a worldwide attack on Bitcoin. I think that there's a worldwide regulatory crackdown on a lot of crypto ideas, like digital currency, a digital security, a digital exchange, and a digital token. But those are all related ideas, but they're not Bitcoin. If we take Bitcoin, which is the idea of a digital commodity, which is a store of value or digital property, that has been endorsed by 4 presidential candidates. Kennedy and DeSantis both have endorsed it. Yep. It has been endorsed by the head of the CFTC and the head of the SEC. It has been adopted. It has been acknowledged as a legitimate asset by the head of the European Central Bank and by the head of the Federal Reserve. And it has been acknowledged as an asset by the White House. So it has also been acknowledged by Fidelity and by BlackRock, right? The 2 largest money managers in the world. So if you're looking to the world to see, are they going to acknowledge Bitcoin as an asset class and as a legitimate crypto commodity? Well, I think you have your answer. There is no government in the world I'm aware of that's banning it. Even the Chinese aren't banning the ownership of Bitcoin. What they're attacking is potentially the mining of it or the crypto trading. And there's a lot of controversy around, can I issue a stable coin? Can I issue a security that's a crypto token? Can I issue crypto derivatives? And we could talk about any of those things if you want. But the most important point to take away is you should separate Bitcoin from crypto. Crypto is about a dozen very progressive ideas, many of which are threatening to the establishment. Bitcoin is one overarching revolutionary idea, the idea of digitally transforming property and putting it in cyberspace. The separation of property from Earth, the idea that you could own $1 billion of property that's in cyberspace as opposed to $1 billion building, right? Sometimes we call it the separation of money from state, but really, a more profound idea is Bitcoin is the first tangible digital property in the history of the human race. And if it was nothing more than that, that's worth hundreds of trillions of dollars. It's a big, big idea. And you don't need to change the currency or change any other law, right? Every nation on earth would benefit from having trillions of dollars of digital property because the digital property is the basis of the 21st century economy.
June 16th, meanwhile, marked another test for major exchange Binance, with France launching investigative proceedings hours after an announcement that Binance would quit the Netherlands altogether over regulatory difficulties. Markets appeared immune to the news, however, and in characteristic fashion, Binance CEO Changpeng Zhao, known as CZ, called the France episode foodie, fear, uncertainty, and doubt. France, surprise, no advance notice, on-site inspections of regulated businesses are the norm for banks, and now for crypto too. The surprise visit to Binance France happened a couple of weeks ago. It's not news. Binance France cooperated fully, he tweeted on the day. Binance also isn't the only crypto business inspected. This happened to other well-known crypto businesses in Paris too. Binance France continues to be our flagship center in Europe.
So the important point there is everybody needs a checking account and they need a savings account. And the checking account is going to be the currency. The savings account is what you're holding to retire on or give to your children's children. So Bitcoin doesn't need to replace the currency to be useful or successful. If you live in Argentina right now, as long as there's an Argentine government, you're going to need the peso. And you're going to want probably 90 days worth of pesos. Then you're probably going to want 3 years or 1 to 3 years worth of dollars, the world reserve currency. And then all the rest of your money, you're going to want to convert into property. And your choice is either to buy stationary property like a ranch or a building or a company, or to buy Bitcoin. And so you see, sometimes people, they think that somehow Bitcoin won't succeed unless it becomes a currency. But that's not true. 95% of the wealth in the world isn't the currency, it's a property. And so if Bitcoin is simply the long-term savings account, it'll be fine. Just like if you owned a building, you don't need to use it to buy coffee, right? Like if I gave you a building, you would take it, and if I then said, well, it's not valuable because you can't buy coffee, whether you would say, silly, I'm keeping the building, and if I want to buy coffee, I'll take a loan against the building. I'll put that into a savings account or I'll convert that into a checking account, and then I'll fund my credit card, right? And then I'll buy coffee with it. So ultimately, I think you should just keep them separate. As long as there are nation states, there will be currencies. You don't need to be a currency. If you live in a war zone where there is no nation state, yeah, then you'll use Bitcoin to buy things. But if you live in the United States, you need the Bitcoin so you don't get poor over the course of your life. You don't need the Bitcoin to buy the coffee. You can use the dollar to buy the coffee. What's particularly beautiful about Bitcoin is that it is a perfect machine constructed of imperfect parts to be operated by imperfect people. And so the genius is, right? The genius is what we want to do is have millions and millions of computers that are all randomly interacting with each other. But we want to, on average, generate a block every 10 minutes. But, sometimes it's 11 minutes and sometimes it's 2 minutes and sometimes it's 56 minutes. And so it's not actually 10 minutes, but because of the difficulty adjustment, which is a first order negative feedback loop, that first order negative feedback loop and enough transactions causes the entire system to dynamically target that 10-minute goal. And then we want to allow anybody in the world to create a Bitcoin mining rig, and we want to allow any engineer to make it work faster. Okay, so that's a very uncontrolled variable. Like any of 8 billion people can do as much Bitcoin mining as they want. And we can mine with CPUs and GPUs and first order ASICs and S9s and S19s and S19 pluses or pros. All these things are changing, and I can overclock them and underclock them, and there is no central ruler. But at the end of the day, what I want is the sum total of all human effort to result in the system generating exactly the right amount of Bitcoin, in a issuance schedule over the course of hundreds of years. And that was achieved through all of these servo mechanisms, cybernetic feedback, if you will. And so that's interesting. And the fact that humans are greedy, and sometimes they're lazy, and sometimes they're greedy, and
Yes.
sometimes they're smart, and sometimes they're stupid and incompetent. And yet, Bitcoin manages to function with all those types of people. And, even here's another interesting twist. Some people say it's really hard to hold your private keys, or what if you lose your private keys, or what if you lose the Bitcoin? But the way Bitcoin is constructed, if people lose their Bitcoin, the value of the Bitcoin of everybody else goes up. And so the competent benefit from the incompetent, you see. And the network burden shifts from the lazy to the industrious, and the overall parameters keep adjusting so as to create the ultimate scarcity.
So, is it a good time to invest in Bitcoin? And what's your prediction for Bitcoin in 2023? Tell us in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you soon with the next video. Thank you so much for watching.